Alright guys, so here we are for one-shot qualifying in the wet on the intermediate tires. So this is going to be a really tough time for us coming down this start-finish straight on the Malaysia circuit. Now breaking into this very long right-hander, which is turn 1, just trying to ease the throttle through this corner. And here too, this part is really tough on traction. As you see, we almost lose it onto the grass there, and almost there too. Now Hamilton really pulling away from us. We're down to 14th position on this one-shot qualifying lap. Now going down to 3rd gear in this corner, missing the apex by a mile there, and almost losing the car once again. Now coming to this fast left and right-hander section of the track, really trying to hit the curbs, but I don't hit any of the curbs. And now coming to this double right-hander. Really crucial to get a good exit on the second part of that corner, and here onto a little back straight, not really the back straight, but it's sort of a back straight, where you have a little bit of a chance to maybe make overtakes into the race, and really having problems on the traction there, as you can see at this at the beginning of sector 3. And here also you can see how much action I have to put into the wheel. I just have to turn it all the time, try to counter steer, and all sorts of things to try to keep the understeer away while having oversteer. I mean, try to keep the oversteer away while having understeer. Well, I mixed that up. Now going down the back straight and going down to the last corner, and just trying to get a good exit, but we did not get a good exit. And Hamilton is already finished his lap as we come across to make a really slow lap and finish P14 in this qualifying session. So here we go, Daniil Kvyat having another disappointing qualifying session once again, and maybe we'll do better tomorrow in the race.
Performance from Mercedes today, with both cars on the front row for the race tomorrow.
Well, both these drivers have been working hard with the team to ensure they get maximum performance out of the car, and it looks like they've found the right combination, at least in qualifying trim. Now, we need to see how they get on in the race.
Welcome to the Sepang International Circuit, where the cars are already on the grid as we gear up to start the main event. It was a blistering lap time from Lewis Hamilton in qualifying yesterday. If he gets a clean start away from the grid today, he might be untouchable.
Anything can happen on race day. A poor start, a mechanical issue, the weather being unpredictable, or just the fact another driver has a better performance. So whilst he's definitely hoping for the race win, he knows his name isn't written on the trophy just yet.
With its raw speed, the Williams is looking great this weekend, and the way Valtteri Bottas is driving, well, I wouldn't bet against him securing his first ever podium finish today.
Valtteri has been dialed into the track in every session. I really feel that he can challenge the Mercedes today and potentially get on the podium.
So here we are on the starting grid for the Malaysian Grand Prix, checking our race strategy, which is going to be option prime as per usual. It's not really worth going prime option, but anyway, now we are getting ready as the start sequence is underway. We got 4 lights, 5 lights, and away we go. We've had a really bad start once again, even though we're on dries now, and we've been done around, or on, which now becomes the inside for the next corner by Gutierrez in his Sauber, but we're going to try to make it in this corner without any touch. But we touched the rear left tire of Gutierrez's Sauber there, but we managed to get away without any. Whoa! Daniil Kvyat just cutting that corner like an absolute something. Jesus Christ, that was something else. He just came out of nowhere, or he was side by side with me, but he chose to not back off and just dive it down the inside. But anyway, now going down up the inside of Gutierrez, having a huge pile of oversteer there on the exit. And now we got Hulkenberg. I think it's Hulkenberg, Magnussen and Perez ahead of us. So I'm going to try to close the gap to them and maybe get past. So coming into this double apex right hand now, really close to Hulkenberg, who's slowing down massively going through here. And now coming through probably, oh god, Hulkenberg braking so early there. And we've had to dive it down the inside to avoid having contact with him. And Magnussen actually manages to get back up ahead of us, and now Perez has some breathing air and he manages to pull away a little. Um, but Perez is actually P10, so we'd like to close the gap to him and maybe get past. Now trying to get as good of an exit as possible from this corner, but we haven't, as we have really bad traction now. Hulkenberg is going to be all over us going onto this straight, putting it up to rich fuel mix, but Hulkenberg's going around the outside and he's done as he's using that Mercedes power unit to all its full extent. Now diving down the inside from really far behind, just trying to do something of the situation here, but he's going to come back at us probably. He's got so much better top speed than us, and we really don't have the setup for the straights. It's not too bad, but it's not as good as Nico Hulkenberg, as he's still on the inside of us. Gonna try to pull it around the outside. He's still there, diving it through on the inside, and he's now behind us. So we managed to keep 12th position now, but now Magnussen and Perez are far ahead. So we gotta start trying to close the gap once again to them. Now going into sector 2, as we've gone a bit wide onto the grass. Easy to lose it out there, but we managed to not do it, as touching the white lines, trying to get as much as trying to make the corner as big as possible to be able to get through it as fast as possible. So now coming through this tricky part of the track, you really need to get this second part of the corner right to be able to not be closed up by the AIs. So now cutting on to the end of lap 3 actually, and we see Magnussen and Perez battling ahead, so maybe this is a chance for us to close up on them and maybe take a position and gain some points in this race. But Hulkenberg is now close to us once again. He's going to go down the inside with DRS. He's just flying ahead of us. We have no chance of doing anything there, and I'm just going to try to stick with him as he's really slow through this part of the track, and we have huge pile of overstay going through the middle part of that corner. And now Hulkenberg just ahead of us, as he seems to pull a little bit of a gap, but he's going defensive. Why is he going defensive? But now he's going a bit to the inside. No, he's still going defensive, and maybe we pulled the move up. No, we've not gone side by side with him. Still behind Nico Hulkenberg, who's really slowing us down here. We're really losing a lot of time to Sergio Perez and Magnussen ahead. So now this is a drag race, but we managed to pull the overtake off here on lap 4, and now Hulkenberg, we're done and dusted with him. Now just going to try to pull a gap to him and close up on Magnussen and Perez ahead, because it really loses a lot of time battling with Nico Hulkenberg. So since he's got so much better top speed, he just gets past us and then he drives really slowly ahead of us, which makes us lose time. And most of this track you're not even able to overtake in the corners, most of the corners, just the straights, and we really don't have the top speed for it. So now closing in on Magnussen actually, as he's battling with Perez ahead. He's really hounding down Perez now, really close to him, as we can see, not even a car's length between them. So that's the best of all chances for us. If they start battling, maybe we can close up, because I don't think we really have the ordinary pace. We can see Magnussen diving it down the inside of Sergio Perez. He's made the mistake, or has he? Is Perez going to come back at him? Perez is going to come back at him down the inside, but Magnussen maybe going to stick it around the outside. Yes, he has, as that corner becomes the inside where he was at. So now Magnussen still ahead, or Magnussen has made a move on Perez now, as I think Perez wants to try and come back at him, and they're now losing loads of time as we're now closing in on them while having huge oversteer out of that corner. And now coming into this fast part of track where I really gain a lot of time on them, since I got a setup with more downforce on. So really closing in on them, and if we could get Perez, then we just might have DRS for Magnussen too. So come on, let's push now, let's push and try to catch Perez, as he's braking really early there. We brake a bit too late, so maybe he didn't brake too early, but as we see, the AI is also struggling with the traction out of that corner, but it's not as bad as we seem to have it at some points. Now Perez really losing out to Magnussen. Magnussen seems to be pulling away as we go wide, but that might benefit our exit out of the corner. Just might do, as we're going to get DRS now behind Perez, but we're not even going to be able to catch him. He's got so much better top speed. So we're going to try to brake late into this corner and get a good exit to maybe, just maybe, be close into turn 1. But we're not going to be too close, I think. Now, he's still got DRS from Magnussen, so that's not going to be possible, I think. Anyway, going up to lap 6, as you can see, our tires are dropping off a little now. And we're just trying to stay with Perez here. Maybe we can take them in the pit stops. This car really seems to do well on the prime tires, so maybe we can take them on that stint too. So as you can see, Magnussen pulling a little bit of a gap, but he's still losing to the people ahead of us. So he's still losing to the people ahead of him. Now really close to Perez, just behind him, and we're going to try to maybe make a move after this corner here, but we've gone into his dirty air, and we're maybe going to be able to make a move stick. We're going to dive it down the inside. We lost too much time. We haven't got time to be cautious now. We just need to make the move stick as fast as possible. So now cutting on to the end of lap 7, and we're actually going to box at the end of this lap. We haven't been able to close the gap to Magnussen after we got past Perez, but we're going to maybe be able to jump him in the pits. We're going to have to see what the Toro Rosso pit crew can do for us now, as we drove fast into the pit lane, trying to be as close as possible to Magnussen when entering the pit lane. So let's go in here and see how fast our pit stop is. So maybe Magnussen was held up a bit by yes, he's held up. We've actually jumped Magnussen in the pits now. That's awesome. We've actually managed to jump Magnussen in the pits. That's great. That's great to see that the I think it was held up by, was it our teammate coming in? Now we got very cold tires on, and we actually got Alonso behind us trying to get past, but we're not going to let him pass, even though we're on cold tires, and we're really having trouble out of the corners. We're going to try to keep Fernando behind. Fernando is down in P10. He seems to have had a horrible race, and now just trying to warm up the tires as effectively as quick as possible. And this corner is really good for heating up tires, so trying to go through it as fast as possible, but still not going off or anything like that. But Alonso is just hounding us, and he really wants to get past now, so we're pretty much trying to do everything to keep him behind for the time being. But he seems to not, especially this part of track, the AI seem to really be struggling to stay behind me, especially sector 2 and 3. That's really where I'm strong on this track. Now cutting on to the end of lap 3, we still got Alonso hounding us all over. He's all over us now, going onto the DRS straight. Now he is probably gonna pull a move down the inside. Yes, he's gonna do it, and there's no way we're gonna come back from this, or is it? We're gonna try it down the outside, but now no way. So we actually lost that position to Alonso, and now he's just pulling away from us as we jump on to lap 14. Nothing really happened from there on, and as we're gonna finish in P9 in the Malaysian Grand Prix. So this was a really tough race for Daniil Kvyat. Even though he's pretty happy with the result, I can say I am pretty happy with the result, but really tough race. So I'm going to leave it to Crofty now for the result.
It's another race win for the British driver. Paddy Lowe described it as one of his best drives in a Mercedes. He'll be hoping to produce more of the same next time around.
They have been working really hard, and today they got their reward. Superb work from both the team and its driver.
After all this drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
So guys, that was the race. That was the Malaysian Grand Prix on the Sepang International Circuit. As you can see, we finished P9 in this race, taking home 2 points for the Drivers' Championship, as we are now in 7th position on equal points with Jenson Button actually. So this championship is up for grabs for us. We have a chance. We're actually on equal points with Valtteri Bottas too, I see now. So we have a chance of getting 6th in the Drivers' Championship. So anyway guys, yeah, and here's the Constructors' Championship too. We're in 5th position. But anyway, this has been Wingsman 001 with Daniil Kvyat, Road to Glory, and hopefully I'll see you for the next episode in Bahrain. Peace.